This is Cheska. Cheska is a diligent student in the Royal and Pontifical University of Santo Tomas. She is an obedient daughter to her parents and a loving sister to her siblings. Just like a lot of us, Cheska lives a normal life in this concrete jungle of the city. She loves music, art, studying, hanging out with friends, and living the life she ought to live. And just as most of us, Cheska doesn't really get the essence of her faith.
Whatever.
Over the years, a lot of young people have been leaning away from their Catholic faith. Why? Because of the misconceptions that society produced, thus confusing Cheska right here and a lot of kids like you. As much as we love to eat steak or meat in general, there's this point in time where we Catholics are asked to abstain from eating meat. Until 1983, Catholics were required to abstain from eating meat during Fridays. Luckily, the rule changed to abstaining from something that you usually like. For example, giving up opening your social media accounts during Fridays. However, it is still required to abstain and fast during all the Fridays of Lent and on Ash Wednesday, especially on Good Friday. The church, as we know, is our place of worship. It is where we connect with God. However, did you know that we are also the church? It implies that even among us, Christ is within us no matter where we go. That's why we're called the temples of the Holy Spirit, remember? However, take note that in terms of technicality, the place is spelled with a small letter C, while the people is referred with a capital letter C. Christians, some believe, are those that are non-Catholic. However, in reality, Catholics are also Christians. Christians, by definition, are those who follow Christ's footsteps, teachings, and doctrines. Whether you are a Roman Catholic, a born-again, or a Jehovah's Witness, you are a Christian. A strange myth, yet prevalent, since many people wrongly believe the word Christian is similar to Protestant. To debunk this myth, it helps to remind people that Catholics were the very first followers of Christ. It is said that Catholics and Protestants are all Christians that can both go to heaven. The Protestant denominations are simply the offshoot of Catholicism that branched off over various disagreements and misunderstanding to what the Catholic Church was teaching. From Gregor Mendel to René Descartes, Catholics are very inclined to science, despite common notions saying that the Church is very much against science. In fact, the Church even supports this so-called Pontifical Academy of Science and other research departments found in almost every Catholic university. In 1988, Pope John Paul II addressed a letter to the director of the Vatican Astronomical Observatory noting, "Science can purify religion from error and superstition. Religion can purify science from idolatry and false absolutes. Each can draw the other into a wider world, a world in which both can flourish." Science alone cannot answer questions that fall outside its empirical method. If science is knowledge of things from their causes, then theology is the highest grade of science, since it traces its knowledge to the ultimate cause of all things. Many have accused us of idolatry, yet never in its essence did we ever worship anyone but God. But to defend ourselves, we practice dulia, hyperdulia, and latria. Dulia is a form of veneration for the saints, hyperdulia is for our Virgin Mary, and latria for God Himself. Christians don't worship saints as we do worship God. One striking difference is that in prayer we ask God for mercy, while with saints we ask for their guidance and prayers. They serve as models of our faith for the things they did on earth. Given that we've already known some of the top misconceptions in our faith, may we, as the youth of today, show courage to challenge the common notions as said in our vlog. Just as Jesus did in His time, be fearless and free to correct these mistakes. And despite our common differences, whether in ideology and in faith, spread the unconditional love and sacrifice that Christ has done for all of us. Knowing what is true strengthens our understanding to our faith, and while we understand, we thoroughly believe and have faith. And may someday, hopefully, everyone will do the same.